Alright. This is long-awaited Army Gal stream. Steam edition. Oh, 1 second then, before we begin, I gotta make sure I'm ready to go. I got my water here, since there's gonna be a ton of talking. Alright, let's start. Apparently my name is Kyle. Alright, so, the Aggressive Rehabilitation Missionary Youth Program, whatever that means. What a mouthful. Behind me, the train noisily rolls off, gaining speed as it vanishes off into the distance, leaving me stranded. Alright, already off to a good setup, aren't we here? I shift nervously from one foot to the other. What if they don't show up? Actually, that might be kind of cool. Better than roughing it out in the woods for weeks. I already missed my cell phone. Is there no sound of the game? Let's see. Should have sound. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Much better. A few minutes pass. The other passengers that had gotten off this spot have all departed. Alright. Everyone except myself, who's standing here awkwardly with a backpack and luggage. Did I get the date wrong? I don't know, did you, idiot? Did I get off at the wrong stop? I'm going to be so dead. They'll never believe it was just an accident. Deciding to just wait around a little longer, I wander the station listlessly. While boredly rereading the signs on the wall, I hear peeling screech of tires. I glance up, watching the car as its doors open. Finally, these must be the people I've been waiting for. Kyle, right? I'm Shelton. He's suddenly interrupted by a nosy chant. Fresh meat, fresh meat, fresh meat, by unknown woman. Such imaginative names. A chanting woman strides up next to him. She's wearing biker overalls with her cleavage in plain sight. To my credit, I drag my eyes back to the man talking to me. Shelton glowers at her. Okay. Will you stop? Sorry, we're a little late. The hotel we booked is further out than we were expecting. Not my problem. He thrusts a hand out to me, sighing as he tries again for introduction. I'm Shelton, camp leader at the Aggressive Rehabilitation Missionary Youth Program. We are at the Aggressive Rehabilitation Missionary Youth Program believe that all youths need a guiding hand. Of course, the history of the Aggressive Rehabilitation Missionary Youth Program. Oh my god, if I have to hear you say that stupid speech one more time, I'm gonna knock your teeth in. The girl gives Shelton a scowling look. Just abbreviate the name. We can't abbreviate it. No one will take it seriously. Well, whose fault is that? My brain has been short-circuited by the curvy, sporty woman who looks just dangerous enough to be interesting. I hope y'all are happy that I'm streaming this. She must notice my stare, meeting my gaze with an arched eyebrow, sends a jolt right down my spine. A wolfish grin spreads across her face. Got something to say, fresh meat? Oh, I don't know, should I? Oh. Uh-huh, we are one of the students from the camp. I blurt out my first assumption, and they both look at me with wide-eyed stares. I've messed up. Oh, great. She isn't a student. This is Cheryl, a fellow camp counselor. Represent. She's a counselor. I distinctly hear him hiss through his teeth at the least inconspicuous way, who is clearly setting a bad example for the children with the devil may cry get up. Okay. Oh, please. And I hate it when you call them children. They're certainly not kids. Right? She thrusts her hand at me with a wink, trying to figure out if some kind of flip-flop good guy, bad guy routine. I shake her hand. I rack my brain for something to say. You can counsel me anytime. Her eyes widen, but I don't know if it's because she's stunned or impressed. Whap. Child abuse. My hand collides so suddenly with my face that I stumble around. It wasn't a thin, sharp slap of a girl's hand. No, I just got the spit knocked out of my mouth by the big, beefy hands of Shelton. Rubbing my cheek indignantly, I look back at the two. I didn't think anyone has ever hostilely slapped me before. That's exactly the kind of attitude you're not going to have around here. Leave the boy alone. It's not his fault that I'm irresistible. He'll learn. Restraint is the face of temptation. Is as good as a lesson as any. Cheryl rolls her eyes. Well, fun as tormenting fresh meat here is. You should probably remember that we left 3 other delinquents in the car. You do have the keys, right? Shelton breaks out in a sweat. Of course I've got the keys. 3 delinquents. I try to peek past them, but Shelton suddenly blocks up my vision. I almost shrink back, but he just takes my bags. Going to put this in the car with the rest, but there's not enough room for all of us in there. Hope you're okay with being tied down to the top. How good is your finger strength? This is getting a little sexual here, isn't it? It's the BDSM. What? Well, it gets bumpy, and if the rope comes loose, no, I have to ride on the top of the car. You should know that delinquents don't get the same luxuries everyone else does. Besides, think of the legroom. I'm not a delinquent. Sounds like something a delinquent would say. Sure, I splutter stupidly in protest but can't find a comeback. Shelton slams the trunk of the car closed. Everything's ready to go. I sigh. Do you really have to ride on the top of the car? Shelton looks at me like I just grew another head. What have you been telling the kid? Cheryl just bats her eyes inconsistently and innocently and then walks away. You're with her. We'll head to the campsite, but it's a long way to go by motorbike. You'll spend the night at the closest motel to the woodlands, then meet up with us tomorrow. I'm actually going to ride with her. As if reading my thoughts, Cheryl loudly revs the bike. Okay, this is already getting interesting. Come on, are you ready? Yeah, let's do this. That's the spirit. Oh, let's not do that. Return. The bike rambles in the background. Have you ever ridden before? Well, no. Perfect. I got to take fresh meat's bike virginity. It's gonna take a second there to enjoy that sentence. Perfect. I get to take fresh meat's bike virginity. Nice. Don't worry, darling. I'll be gentle. Already with innuendos. I shadow the bike behind her, trying to figure out how to sit on the seat without touching her. There's no such option, though, as she grabs me and pulls me forward. Hang on tight. She puts my hands around her waist before I can object. Before I can say anything, we speed off through the town and leave the car behind. At least I haven't gotten sick yet. Every tight curve makes my stomach do flips as we go around them. Alright, it looks like a roller coaster, except I'm not strapped into anything and the ride has lasted over an hour. They really weren't kidding when they said it was far off. Luckily, Cheryl doesn't try to talk much over the constant roar of the bike. The sun is setting when we leave the main road and end up in a small, secluded town. My whole body is stiff from sitting tight against her back, clinging for dear life. Okay, here we are, a temporary home sweet home. My legs wobble uncertainly as I get off the bike, actually grateful to be standing in the shadow of a seedy motel. Okay. Anything on flat ground with no sharp curves or innocent pedestrians to run over is great. I would probably agree. I'm going to check us in. If we're gonna barf, do it away from the bike. I'm not gonna barf. I'll probably asphyxiate on my own vomit before I've had the nerve to throw up in front of Cheryl. Take one for the team, kid. Alright, rest up. We've still got a ways to go tomorrow, and it'll be off-road for a lot of it. I want to collapse into a heap, and I would be But there's only one bed and my brain has officially flipped into off mode. Doesn't she realize? It turns out that I'm the one who doesn't realize something, finally spawning the stained futon crammed against the wall. I've got so many unidentifiable dark spots and it looks like someone might have been murdered there. Oh snap. Oh well, I've moved to collapse onto it. Are you going to sleep there or are you going to join me in the bed? Oh snap. First major decision in the game, it seems. She takes her change. She takes her change of clothes and hovers in the bathroom doorway, glancing back at me with a raised eyebrow. Join her. My brain launches into overdrive while I stand between the couch and the bed. This has to be some kind of test. If I fail, she might try to fight me or something. But she was actually pretty flirty earlier. There was definitely something there, unless that was just my wishful ego hearing what I wanted to hear. Wouldn't be the first time, actually. Her expression shifts to annoyance as I stand here in numb silence. Fortune rewards the bold, but this woman is nuts and a counselor, so unless Fortune is her stripper name, I don't think that rule applies. I open my mouth, not even sure what's going to come out of it. You know what? I'll sleep with you. Really. Determined to stand my ground now, I sit down on the edge of the bed. You offered. I may be stupid fresh meat, but I'm not stupid enough to say no. Her eyes light up with interest, her smirk growing. Okay, interesting. I thought you might be a little daring, but I'll admit I'm surprised, pleasantly. She laughs, but it's not her usual cruel crackle. You bet. She turns and vanishes into the bathroom, at which point my whole body turns into spaghetti. Did I really just flirt with my counselor on the first night? Yes, you did, Kyle. Probably going to be expelled or arrested or something. Is that possible? Before I can get a second guess, she appears again. Okay. She holds her finger to shush me. Has uh have to check if this is legal on YouTube, I guess. Has anyone ever told you that you sound a lot less cute when you're grunting like a Neanderthal? Savage. I'm no match for this girl. What am I even doing? Okay. But it is weird. She gives me a look that tells me I'm not helping my case. I don't have my overnight clothes. They're in a bag. Shelton took them with him. Well, good riddance. What would need clothes for anyway? She grins at me. Did you plan for this? Can you at least try to not look so uncomfortable? Oh man. Haven't you ever had a one night stand before? No. Oh, well, as long as you keep your mouth shut, nobody else has to know. I don't know how much time has passed. All I know is that I'm left battered and bruised somehow. But even this place, that hurt feels good. The mark on my neck stings, and the scratches on my back won't be going away for a while. I don't even remember when she put half of those things on me. It's all one steamy hot blur. I glance over, seeing Cheryl slump back under the covers as she lets out a breathly sigh. She doesn't offer to talk or touch afterwards, apparently having gotten what she came for. Exhausted, I slide down under the covers too, still reeling from the bizarre situation. She's completely worn me out. I don't even have the time to think about what just happened before my eyes close and everything fades away. Up and at 'em, maggot. Hua, I think that's how you pronounce it. I practically launched myself off the couch in confusion, still half asleep and holding the blanket to myself. Well, what? If you think you get the luxury of sleeping in the past, the crack of dawn, think again. I blink towards the bright sunlight spilling through the window, but it's already past. Are you sassing me, fresh meat? I shriek away from her, yelling, No, ma'am. Oh, man. Don't do this to me. No, ma'am. She suddenly smiles cheerfully. Good. Alright. Let's see here. Seriously, though, we need to get going soon. It's a long drive. You mean that was all a joke? What, did you really think that's how this retreat was going to be? Or that I would get up at the crack of dawn with my own free will? Please. Hurry up and get changed. I'm going to start the bike. Still confused, I hastily tug on my clothes. Okay, that was interesting. I was told the retreat would be far off in the wilderness, but I didn't think they were serious about it. Eventually we're off the main roads, but it doesn't deter Cheryl, who speeds through the quiet lanes. My teeth chatter and my skull as the bike bounces along. How is she so confident in going so fast through the country lanes? I think I'm going to be decapitated, such a good word, by a tree branch. I just hold on and hope. But judging from how fast she's going on these narrow roads, half, half overgrown paths, she's familiar with them, or lucky. My back is hurting and I think I've cracked my molars, but the time she finally slows to a stop. There's nothing here. Okay. The road's too rocky from here on out. We have to walk the rest of the way. No objection here. Riding for the last 2 days has seriously taken its toll on me. My joints creak from the first 5 minutes we walk, still adapting to being able to move. It's not until we're almost an hour into walking that I sigh. My sense of direction has been completely shot between the paths that vanished half an hour ago and the haphazard way here. What is this place so far from anything? This is the first piece of property we were authorized to use. Besides, there's no way you guys are going to sneak off into some town and cause trouble out there. I don't even cause trouble. Oh, boo-hoo. Do you want us to change the camp location just because you're supposedly a model citizen? I just sigh and give up on defending myself, continuing to walk in silence for a while. Oh, man. It's only been 16 minutes? Wow. It's a lot of talking. One of my pant legs is completely filled with briars, and the mud caked into the bottoms of my shoes makes it difficult to walk. Somehow Cheryl pulls her bike alongside her with no difficulties. Hey fresh meat, did you happen to bring a cell phone? We were told not to. She rolls her eyes. Yeah, but did you? 2 more hours to go. That's right. I don't get service out here, no? Damn it. Why do we need one if we're lost? We don't need one, but I'd be tricked into showing me yours. I would have gotten to toss it into the lake. What? She smiles. Well, you were told not to do. Mildly horrified and grateful that I didn't bring my cell phone, I stop briefly when I hear the other voices. Emerging out of the tree line, I see Shelton's car. Here we are. About damn time. Are those... Oh, look. Girls. What is this? Rolls of cloth and sticks are set up in the ground circling a small fire. There are no building anywhere in sight. Seriously, a bunch of tents and a fire pit. I thought there would be cabins and campgrounds and, well, more people than this. This is really going to be rough. The 3 girls all stare at me wordlessly, and I very much want to be swallowed up by a hole in the ground. What am I supposed to say? A blue-haired girl looks particularly thrilled, but the other 2 have expressions that range from uncertain to unwelcoming. Y'all wanted this. Kyle. The man backs out of the only assembled tent, bringing a few skewers with him. Looks like everyone's here now. This is it. School's in session. Consider this our off-season. The rest come out here when we have a bigger staff. But your special cases get to come out mid-year and get sorted back into school faster. I glance toward the other girls, wondering what they did to end up here. Now that we're all together, let's get introductions out of the way. Girls, this is Kyle. I wave feebly to no response. Shelton, Kyle's here. We have Andrea. Hi, I guess. She fidgets uncomfortably under my gaze, looking like she'd rather be anywhere else. I can't blame her. Anne, this is... I'm gonna call her Ran, because I'm sure there's some Japanese way of saying that name. I'm glad to see you. I was worried that you weren't gonna be any guys on this trip. Realizing her mistake, she turns an awkward gaze to Sheldon, who is very much a guy. Anyway, lastly, this is Etta. That's, I guess, how you pronounce it. Might have imagined it, but I think she nodded her head to me in the slightest possible motion. Aside from that, she doesn't make any effort to acknowledge my existence. Oh my goodness, it's a lot of talking. Now, each of you are here for a reason. Yeah, freaking sabotage. Yeah, you tell him, Kyle. I didn't even do anything, and now I've been shipped off to live in the woods. This group is your greatest strength. I'm not playing Takeshi's challenge next. I'd kill myself. We can't keep secrets from each other, and we can't be catty or petty. Everything here is out in the open. You have issues, and we're going to walk through them together. I feel strongly compelled to zone out through the speech, but something tells me Shelton isn't all that is fond of me as it is. If you want to buy me Takeshi's Challenge, I'll play Takeshi's Challenge then. I didn't think it was a good idea to go into much depth until we're all together. Save me from repeating myself. And I hate repeating myself. Of course you do, Kyle. Now that we're here, let's start off with talking about the real problems, about why you're here. Okay, Andrea, we'll start with you. Alright, I'll emulate it then. She seems to shrink down a little, glancing away from Shelton with a scowl. I know you're not gonna like this. That's the whole reason why Andrea got shipped to us. Her parents are worried. Antisocial personality, reclusiveness, trouble in school, and interacting with others. Those were concerns that voiced to me. You're not much of a people person, are you? You really helping. Yeah. Gravitate, sure. But she bunches herself down against the circumstances. I feel for her a little. I know my turn will be coming up, and I'll have to go through the song and dance of, but having that specific list of issues, well, I'm not something you really want to read out in front of a crowd. My sympathetic glances likely goes unnoticed. She has her arms crossed, scowling off into the distance. Ran, I guess. She gives a cheeky wave. Ran has been in trouble with both her school and her parents, who described her as to me as uncontrollable. She's been caught drinking and failed the drug test. I mean, like, doesn't everyone? If they were testing me for drugs and I had drugs in my system, doesn't that technically mean I passed? Life lesson, kids. Maybe I misunderstood the purpose of that test. I'm going to sue. That's how we do it. Keep up that attitude, Ran. Eventually we'll get to the bottom of why you'll actually feel compelled to do those things. Apparently because it's fun just isn't good enough reason anymore. She never loses her grin, and when she glances at me, it seems to grow. I'm not sure what she wants with me, but the long look is only broken when Shelton strides across the opposite side. And here we have our sweet Etta. His hands go to her shoulders, causing her to physically tense, but she keeps her gaze locked forward. Bruh, you know you're not supposed to touch people like that. Etta particular cocktail of problems isn't fully known to us, so we'll have to be extra diligent with her. She was sent here on court order, but the police are withholding the information. Damn, son. But let's just say some sort of gang activity is involved. Etta remains stoic and cold. Wow. It's almost admirable the way she brushes off the words without a glance. Admirable but scary. What exactly does gang activity constitute? Well, if we look it up on Google, I'm sure it will tell you the definition. Predictably, Shelton's heavy footfalls walks a semicircle and finds their way to me. My turn. And the boy of the retreat, Kyle, is our first-time offender. I feel my cheeks heat up without my consent. Who was convicted of arson and sexual harassment in the same incident. Man, talk about a fucking legend. Convicted. I didn't do it. If I had done it, they could prove it. I sure as hell wouldn't be sitting here. The blue-haired girl laughs delightedly. Oh, that sounds like a real party. What on earth did you do? Nothing. You got locked out of chat? Oh, I'm sorry. You should have administrative access. Kyle, here, decided to attempt to burn his school down. Not only that, but he was found hiding in the girls' changing room. What's your opinion on state-regulated hentai? Wow, we will get to that at a later date. Likely a ploy to get them to run out without dressing. It's like listening to my principal all over again. I didn't set the stupid fire. I got dared to go into the changing room by the words friends catches my throat and I can't say it. I want to, but it wouldn't be the truth. They weren't my friends. That's what I had wanted to get from it. Taking that stupid dare to go to the girls' changing room after gym class. Yeah, sorry, loaded question. Well, it depends on each state, I guess. We have to break down states. Because Minnesota could have a different rule than North Carolina. Look, it doesn't matter. They framed me for the fire. Shelton looks less than impressed. You're already out here in the woods for what you did. There's no point in defending yourself now. You're lucky you got off so easily since they can't prove anything. Or Texas. Yeah, you know what? I'm sure New York and Texas got some janky rules. We might want to add being a compulsive liar to Kyle's list of faults. Home of the best NFL team. I'm not going to say that because that's not true. I glare at the ground, bitter, even though I know I'm getting the same treatment as everyone else. In fact, I probably shouldn't have even blurted out that I didn't do it. But Sheldon loses interest in me as he goes back to stand at the front. And of course there's me. Some of the girls' expressions look a bit more optimistic at that. I have a feeling that Cheryl's going to get along way too well with them. Actually, we need to talk about that. What? Come here. Whoa, what the hell? The pair wandered beyond where we can hear, the rest of us exchanging confused glances. They talk quietly until Cheryl starts yelling, I will not! You can't just. Whatever Shelton says cuts her off. I strain to hear what she's saying. We all do. But every little shake of a leaf, buzzing insect seems to muffle whatever syllables come out. Fine. The word suddenly cuts through the air. Cheryl comes stomping back so furiously that she marches right past all of us without a word. Did you think Dak Prescott watches hentai? Give me like 5 minutes and I'll give you my opinion. She slings her stuff onto her shoulders and gets on her bike. I remember her saying that the way here was too rocky and impassable to drive through, but she speeds off without a backwards glance. Hashtag shower thoughts. You're right, chat member. I noticed Andrea and Rand sharing the look before we all turn over our gaze to Sheldon. Remind me in 5 minutes, I'll give you my opinion. Sorry kids, looks like you just can't get good help these days. Well, I mean, I thought she was pretty good help earlier, but I won't say anything. Now, anyway, where is she going? That's right, this is the first thing Etta said since I've been here. Maybe since any of them have been here judging by the other girls' looks. Don't worry about that. That sounds kinda suspicious, Shelton. I've got to go to town soon to get some more supplies. You didn't come prepared? This is some bullshit. Follow me this way. Still confused, I glance back to where I last saw Cheryl disappear. Shelton leads us in the opposite direction. The edge of the clearing is dotted with trees, but the forest seems thinner where we're going. Etta and I hang towards the back. I don't take her as the type for small talk, so I keep to myself. Before any of you think about running off in this direction in the middle of the night, this ravine here runs in both directions. Don't go out of the edge and look over it either. The ground here isn't stable. Why are we here then? That seems like a safety hazard. And it'll take you down with you if you decide to get brave. Once again, safety hazard. Now that you've all endured the trip here, now you just have to know how far it is. Consider also this is mostly downhill, which means it'll be all uphill if you try heading back the way that we came. It'll take several days on foot. Okay. Judging from the sight of you, I don't know how many of you would make it. That's a weird grin, son. You trying to kill us? Friday the 13th, Kelvin needs to buy it. How many of us like he could? This retreat, this entire purpose of this program is to get you out of the environment that got you here. Sure, whatever you say. You're gonna take a long, hard look at yourselves. I can do that in a mirror. No excuses or passing blame. Out here, it's all on you. Now head back and put up your tent. Last night's stargazing was nice, but it's gonna get colder. I'm gonna have to go into town. Stay here, mind your own business, and stay out of trouble. Bro, I'm in the woods. Anything happens while I'm gone, you'll answer to me and the police. Okay. Sculling off because I don't need introspection or intervention, I drag my feet back towards camp. Now that we've officially been convinced that there's no getting out of this, we've been setting up our tents. I have no idea how to do this. Glancing over at the tangle of sticks and cloth, I watch Shelton's car speed off into the trees. And out of nowhere, Rand shows up. Good riddance. I nearly jump out of my skin when the blue-haired girl seems to pop up out of nowhere. I guess, but the red eyes was way more like standing out to me, I guess. Come on, let's get this putt in. But you don't even have yours put up yet. Well, we only need one, don't we? Damn, this chick is bold. She grins at me, her face way too close, heat creeping into my cheeks. Maybe you should leave the poor guy alone. Aw, green eyes, nice. Represent. He's fine. Besides, he can help me pitch my tent after I help him pitch his. Ho 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 boy. Oh, looking understandably awkward, Andrea returns to putting her up her own tent. That's when we all seem to realize, in the exact same time, Etta already has her tent up and has vanished inside it. Gang activity, probably more like camp activity. What the hell? How did she do that so fast? Maybe she's done this before. She doesn't look like a camping type to me. Andrea just shrugs and goes back to getting her tent up, only for it to crumble down in a defeated slump moments later. How long have we been doing this? Let's see here. Chat, tell me how long I've been doing this, please. Rain only laughs. At least we can do better than her. Really, I don't need. Sure you do. Andrea rolls her eyes and turns away from both of us. Together, Ran and I finally get that 10 up. Without 31 minutes, thank you. Almost 30 on the dot. Has it been 5 yet, though? Without inhibition, she crawls inside and peeks out at me. This is definitely room in here for two. You know what? Let's just go bold. Sleep inside there with her. Not sure if she counts as room for two. Sure it is, with a bit of snuggling. I do love me some snuggling. We can find out for sure later. But first my tent needs putting up too. Well, okay. Right, of course. Stepping outside again, I walk over to the space for her tent. It doesn't take as long as mine did, now that we have a general idea of how it works. I don't know, I think it's about been 5 minutes. Well, that's a little close for me. Well, Brent, you ever been inside a tent? No better. Alright, so does Dak Prescott watch hentai? That was the question. I will say, in a confident manner, that I know he's seen at least some of it. On a regular basis, maybe not, but I'm sure he has seen it. It doesn't take as long as mine did now that we have a general idea of how it works. I don't think about how close our tents are until it's too late to do anything about it. Everyone has their tent up before it's too late. I'm starved. Can you get that fire going again? I guess. Wait, are you just asking me because you think I'm here because of starting fires? Well, you know, arsonists. Well, duh. If you can set a school on fire, I figure you can handle this. I didn't set my school on fire. Andrea steps out of her tent, looking between the two of us. Does it matter as long as we get the fire going? It matters because no one believes I'm innocent. Fucking weirdo. Yeah, you know what? Oh, whoa. That's a loaded question there, chat. Does Whoa, I mean, that's your opinion, if that's what you want to say. Don't worry, I like a bad boy. Well, okay. Arsonist? I'd say that's pretty bad. I don't think that's what he's concerned about. Aha, look at him. Look at him blush. His cheeks are so hot, we could probably start a fire with his face. Well, okay. You gonna flame on? It's a statement, it's not a question. I realize that. I'm not blushing. I say, well, definitely blushing. Being called out on it only makes it worse. In the midst of all of our fighting, the last little bit of sunlight disappears. Only now do I realize it's not completely dark, turning around into the crackling noise at my back. I'd like to know where the army in these gals. I'm guessing their pants are army. I mean, they're camouflaged, so it's hard to see them. The girls look like their fires already blaze as brightly. There was only one person who could have done it. I glanced toward Etta's tent, which is silent and still as ever. Are you sure she wasn't a Girl Scout? That's kind of a gang, isn't it? I guess so. Weird. She hasn't said much the whole time we've been here. Neither have you. Andrew just rolls her eyes. I guess Shelton has the food in his tent. Go get it. Stop. Apparently right-clicking likes to bring up the menu. Me? Why don't you get it? I don't want to go in there. I look at Andre, who just shakes her head no. That's a little suspicious. This is the weirdest situation I've ever been in my entire life. You sure? Maybe embarrassing? I mean, the weirdest would probably be, the school's on fire and you're in the girls' locker room, but it's just my opinion. I find a large cooler inside Shelton's tent, which has water bottles and chilled hot dogs. Andrea ran and I roast them over the fire, and though we leave some out for Etta, she never comes out. I get it. Right-click, options, nude patch, off. No, you have to insert a file, I believe, for that. From between bits of hot dog, I glance up at Andrea in surprise. She stirs the logs in the fire idly with the end of her stick. The feeling that you don't deserve to be here. It shouldn't be here either. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong anyway. Oh, did you get falsely accused or something? Or she shakes her head. No. My stupid parents just thought it'd be good for me to come here. Now, screw your parents. break me in, you know. I guess they thought I'd come out here and turn into something else or something. She scowls into the fire. Like I said, stupid. Ran yawns. Seriously, this might be one night with no supervision we're going to waste it on. What a pity party. Have fun then. I guess there's nothing we can do about it now. Just make the most of it. Yeah, she sounds so unconvinced. I don't know what to say to make her feel better. Do your parents know you're playing softcore hentai? No. And then, do your parents know that you're watching it? In the next few minutes, she stands and goes back to her desk without another word. I guess I should put out the fire. Tiredness is getting the best of me too. I can't be that late. It can't be that late yet, but all the traveling has worn me out. Still wondering what happened to Cheryl, I crawl into my tent. Your parents know? Good. Way to be a responsible person. If it wasn't so tired, I would probably be a little spooked out in the dark wilderness with our counselors MIA. They're, military term, missing in action. As I'm thinking about sleep until I hear a rustling. What was that? Sitting up, I strain my ears. Just outside my tent, I hear the soft crunches of leaves as something slides past my tent. I can't see anything staring into the darkness. What if it's a bear? Punch it in the face. That's what I would do. Or a wolf. As anything my art teacher taught me, shove your fist down their throat. Do wolves even live around here? Probably. I have no idea. I bury myself deeper into my sleeping bag as if it might actually help. Forcing my eyes closed, I imagine every possible way I could be mauled in. Well, okay. The sound of scuffling grows closer to the front of the tent. Oh, God. Bear, bobcat, wolf, coyote. Are we on the yellow brick road? What's the difference between a coyote and a wolf? I don't know. Manage? Mange? I don't know. But I don't think either of them know how to unzip a tent, which is what happens next. Huh? Hey! It's Ran. Boo. What are you doing in here? What do you think? She crawls towards me, forcing me to move to the side so she can lay down. Charlotte Bobcats, rest their soul. Worst record in NBA history. Whoa, within moments, I'm above her. Well then, I guess you're not that tired. How did we get into this position? Your body just takes over, son. We're out here in the woods, all by our little lonesomes. She gave a husky little giggle. Maybe I need a strong guy to protect me from all the scary things in the dark. You don't really seem like that type. No, but we can pretend. Her fingers grope around as if she's searching for something. Haven't you caught on yet? I want this. Lighten up a little. Can you say out loud? Yes, I will say that. How about that? You can say out loud, I'm the sheriff of sucking you off, and I'm about to suck you off. I hope you're happy about that. What Shelton said. Shelton isn't here. She smells sweet and heady like pot, I realize. Do it. Do what? I already said it. I shouldn't be surprised, really. The scent clings to her clothes and hair, which tickles my cheeks as I lean over her. From this position, one would assume... You're welcome. From this position, one would assume that I'm in control. Terrified to know what happens after I said that, but the reality is that this is all on her. Are we doing this, or am I wasting my time? She is aggressive. Maybe I'll just go have fun with one of the girls instead. Enticing? She grins deviously at me as I sputter, trying to think of something to say. What is with the girls around here? I don't even know her. My mind drifts back to Carol, who had been more than happy to have a go with me. Is there something in the water? LSD, maybe. Well, Kyle, what will it be? Alright, chat. This is the only time I'm going to ask you to answer this question. Which one would you prefer? It's going to come up in a second. There's your choices. "15 seconds till I pick one." Alright, 10 seconds. Alright, looks like chat didn't want to answer. I can never say no to a pretty girl. That's what we're going with. Then I really am just the girl for you. But what if I'm just teasing you, hmm? What if tomorrow I go around and tell all the girls about how I got you hard and then ditched you? She smiles up at me boldly, looking way too happy from taunting me. Is it still worth a shot? Uh-huh. Okay, I'll give you that one. And lucky for you, that's not what I'm out to do. What are you out to do, though? I thought that much was obvious. Why me? Don't take it the wrong way, but you're kind of the only guy here. Savage! Oh, no, it's not like that, really. If you weren't the right kind of guy, I wouldn't go for you at all. Even under these circumstances, considering you know nothing about me except that I may have a penchant for arson, I'm guessing it's not a very exclusive list. You're being so difficult. Do you ever just need to unwind a little? She softly sinks her teeth into her lower lip, looking at me. I guess Shelton really wasn't off the mark about her. Still barely comprehending that this is actually happening, and I haven't drifted off to sleep. I swallow and nod. I guess this is part where I start praying that I'm not on some dumb reality TV show. There's an awkward fumbling of limbs as we adjust our positions, accidentally elbowing and kneeing each other. Feel good, the way she whispers makes her eyes on my neck stand up. I think she gets the idea. It's warm in here, so I might just stay. I think this would be a bad idea. Maybe, but you know what would be a good idea? I arch an eyebrow at her, which I guess she can see because she answers, kiss me. She pulls my head down to hers, our lips meeting. Suddenly, the sweet taste of her lips distracts me from my skepticism that she drives right into it. Well, that didn't take long. The silence afterwards sounds like a gunshot. Even breathing is two noises as we lay here looking at each other, with wide-eyed concern. Finally, she cracks that bright, silly grin and brushes a laugh in her arm. Seriously, wow. I'm eating ramen while watching this. Where's my Weeb Award? Congratulations, we have a winner of the Weeb Award. This is a Christian stream? Oh boy. I really needed that. It certainly seemed that way. After a few minutes of awkward silence on my part and smug satisfaction on hers, she finally rolls over. Oh, alright, I can tell when I'm not wanted. No, don't be like that. I didn't even say anything, exactly. I can tell from her tone that she's giving me grief just for fun. I can barely make it out, but I think she fumbles around trying to put her clothing right again. But you know, I wasn't completely honest when we met. I'm really glad you're here. See you next time then. Next time? But she's already gone and the tent flaps shutting after her. I hear the zipper slide into place, leaving me alone in the dark again. I pull the sleeping bag up, fastening it before I slump back against the pillow. Man, this is gonna take forever. Man, this retreat is nothing like what I thought it'd be. Dude, you got late twice. On the first day. Come on. Day 2. Morning comes early to the sound of distant muttering. Now dressed, I walked out to find that Etta and Andrea are already up. Morning. Hey, we got to sleep in later than I thought we would. Shelton still isn't back yet, so Ed and I decided to start breakfast. Oh, how nice. Can I get baptized in manga? Yes, you can. I glanced toward this place. We'll talk to Miles. We'll get enough manga. I glanced back toward Shelton's truck and had been parked yesterday. It's a long trip. He probably didn't feel like driving through the night after driving there. Doesn't take long for the sound of cooking bacon and sausage to draw Ran out of her tent. Sleeping on the ground sucks. Tonight, I'm volunteering one of you to be my pillow. Sorry about that. I had to take a sip of that water. Tonight, I'm volunteering one of you to be my pillow. How about it, Etta? I watch as Etta gives no reaction, simply thrusting a plate of food out at Ran. She takes it with a bright grin. Is that a no? What about you, Andrea? I'm not much of a cuddler either. Well, I guess we know who that leaves. Big surprise. Connor's parents walk into the room and stage a hentai intervention. You're right. Don't be jealous. We can totally share. I mean, unless Etta wants him all to herself. Pass. I'm standing right here, you know. Getting any kind of response from Etta seems to have distracted Ran away from me at least. I like your hair, Etta. Did you do it yourself? Well, when she doesn't answer, Ran just presses on regardless. Maybe you can do my hair one day. Do you think it would look good? Alright. And amidst all the chatter, we end up cooking up even more of a hearty breakfast as we go in for seconds. Which one of the three is your biggest waifu? Alright, well, let's get them all on stage. Look at that. So what do we do? That's a hard question. What do we want, obviously? I don't look up my plate feeling she's looking right at me. I'll answer that when the end of the stream happens. I'll answer. It's a hard decision. We're in the middle of the woods. An awkward silence descends. I guess we can look around a little. We clean up, shoving the dirty paper plates into a flimsy bag. We probably shouldn't go far. It'd be pretty bad if we got lost out here. Aw, look how concerned he is. I just don't want to have to go looking for you. She cracks another wide grin. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. We break off into different directions. I guess none of us actually know each other well enough to really hang out. It's all the same to me. I could use the time alone. I pick a direction and stick to it. What am I even expecting to find out here? There's a ravine to one side of the endless forest to the other. I choose one of the only directions that Shelton didn't show us, even though it looks like more forest. Did Cheryl mention a lake? I don't know where it would be. Wandering around reveals nothing interesting to me until I start heading back. Something rustles the tree above in my head, and then suddenly drops down beside me. Oh my god, I got hit by a girl. What are you doing up here? Etta told me to take the trash away from camp to tie it up a tree. I didn't ask questions, but I think it has to do something with bears. I'm telling you, gang activity. She was in the Girl Scouts. Couldn't bears climb trees? Well, look, I don't know. If I had my phone, I'd look it up. We'll be careful. What do you care? We're miles away from help, so until Shelton comes back, we're all on our own. Look, last night you said you understood where I was coming from about not deserving to be here. Don't you think I'm really some jerk who wants to see you break a leg? I don't know anything about you, and maybe you can start to learn something about me. Well, you can't find out. She glances over her shoulder. Shelton said you were here because you didn't have a lot of friends or something. Thanks. That's what he said. Well, that's what she said. Are you trying to suggest we'd be good friends, or are you just casually insulting me? I'm suggesting that you won't know until you try. Rico Suave over here. That's really not my style. What is your style, then? She shrugs. Let's just say I had a lot more piercings before I came here, and that this outfit doesn't nearly have enough fishnet. A little bit of a gothic chick. Okay. Does that mean you can't have friends? That's what it's meant so far. Well, maybe it's time to change that. Look, can you shut up for a minute? I'm trying to. She once again begins to climb the tree, but a moment later her foot misses the branch beneath her, and in slow motion I see her fingers lose grip. Andrea! She fumbles down through the tree before grabbing onto another limb. The hem of her skirt catches. Wow, branch above, hiking up the front of it over her head. And we have boobs. If I ordered you an Andrea body pillow, would you rock it? Post an image in chat if you could do that. I'd give you my answer. And I probably like her the most. She seems the nicest. She kicks her legs uselessly as she pins in her place as her yells muffle. I stare up in full admiration of the dark, studded bra, cupping her breast. Oh wow. It does look gothic. Could you have said anything else? Oh, it should probably be helping her. Nah, dip, Sherlock. 1 second. I climb to the lowest hanging limbs until I can reach her and guide her feet over another branch. Her shirt finally pulls free and she finds her footing. We both jump down and immediately she slaps me on the cheek. What the hell? That's for being a pervert. I helped you. He does have a point, Andrea, which is the only reason you didn't get slugged with a closed fist. True. Okay. In disbelief while rubbing my cheek, I watch her stomp off through the forest and back towards camp. I decided it's safest to wait before following her back. I'd rather take my chances with the bears at that moment. I don't know, man. A bear probably kick his ass. When we head back, when I do head back, I hear a long sigh of relief moments before something collides into my back. Here you are. Hey, get off. Oh, I'd love to. Is that an invitation? She clings to me, pressing her weight against me. I was looking for you, you know. Let me guess. I'm bored. There's nothing to do here. I've noticed that myself. I wonder what we'd be doing if Shelton was here. Maybe some quiet self-reflection. That guy's a dick. What are you, some kind of undercover counselor? We'd stop by the fire pit. I wish I was getting paid to be here. I wish I'd be paid doing this right now. What do you mean exclusive company of 3 girls isn't payment enough? You're right. Well, that's what I thought. So don't try to go all psychoanalyst on me. It's not impressive. I've had enough lectures to fill a self-help book. It doesn't change who I am. Everyone can just deal with it. She kicks idly at a rock on the ground, sighing loudly. It's the first time I've heard her sound anything but bubbly and suggestive. She sounds almost frustrated. God. Well, there's your Christian stream for you. You got the big G right there. Tossing me out of here is a place with nothing to do. Someone really didn't think this one through. Clearly. Don't you think she should have been back by now? Shelton, I mean. It took us a while, but I don't know. Well, I know something that might be fun. I'm gonna search for the lake. What for? To actually bathe a little. Cleanliness is next to godliness. That's what they say, right? Good point. I think I'm getting a little right. And skinny dipping later, obviously. Man, of course. Ran crazy. We're not going skinny dipping. Why not? Maybe you're not going skinny dipping, but if I convince the others, I think I can convince you to change your mind. Not wrong. Alright. I can make a very compelling case. It'll be even better than changing room you tried to peek in on. Ah. I like to inform the chat I have seen the pillow, and you know what? Man. Alright, it'll be even better than the changing room you tried to peek in on. I didn't. She's practically cuts me off with her body. Well, damn. She moves in far too close, her chest pressing against me as I slowly try to step back. I bet you've never been skinny dipping before, have you? Well, no. Trust me, you'll like it. And with all her usual restless energy restored, she bounds off. She bounds off to find the lake. I'm surprised she didn't drag me with her. I'm surprised she didn't drag me with her. I head towards my tent, rounding Ran, and nearly slam right into Etta. Get you a woman who only exists in 2D space. Papa bless. And nearly slam right into Etta. My mouth came so close to smashing into hers that we barely stumble away from each other without sharing spit. Did you fall face first? Sorry, I didn't see you. You're in the woods. There's like nothing around. How? She blinks at me in surprise, having kept her footing even better than I did. You know, that gang activity. She doesn't say anything while I wait for some kind of yelling, or to be immediately punched given how this day is going. Okay. Awkward. I really didn't mean to. Are you afraid of me? Tough question. So it blurts out of the question so suddenly that it takes me completely by surprise. What kind of question is that? A loaded one, that's what it is. Can she smell fear or something? I don't know, can she? Why would you think that? Because you look like a rabbit cornered by a wolf every time I look at you. No, I just figure you wanted to be left alone. You're shaking. Well, I nearly kissed you. You make it seem like that's a bad thing. She gives me a small hum of consideration. That's true. It's a good thing you didn't. Ran wouldn't like that. Ran? What does she have to do with anything? Boy, Kyle, you are dense as fuck. She claimed you. Women, am I right? Claimed? I'm not her property, and even if I was, I don't think Rand would stand a chance at trying to take on Etta. Still. That's it. That's her whole argument. Well, either way, it didn't happen. Maybe girls operate on some different code, but I don't think that's how the world works. Buddy, got a surprise for you. But didn't it? Her unreadable expressions seemed to be bore into me like so she's x-raying my every thought. Nah, I don't, not into slavery there. Hentai slave? Nah, it's okay. It makes me feel like I needed to impress her somehow. Oh, you talking about Kyle? Oh yeah, Kyle is that. She hesitates like she isn't sure what to say, and now we're actually caught into the conversation, but I've caught on quick enough that Ezra doesn't want to talk. Then I know she won't say anything at all. I'm not sure how to feel about all this. She nods towards the campsite. Both counselors disappeared on the first night. Is this a test? If this is, it doesn't seem like a very legal one. How smart is it to abandon a bunch of supposedly problem youths out in the middle of the nowhere together? That's what I'm saying. What does it matter? They've done it what they set out to do, isolate us from other people. Out of sight, out of mind. We're society's baggage. Or I am. Oh, just because you're in a gang doesn't mean you're society's baggage. You should. You should know about the Buttercup Cream Gang. You weren't supposed to be here, so I may as well be talking to myself. What does it feel like I'm picking teams here? We got real close, didn't we? But she doesn't force me to wrestle with her feeling for long. She walks by me. I don't care if you were wondering. It doesn't matter to me if you're supposed to be here or not. That wasn't the point. She doesn't look back at me, so I guess I'm not expected to follow her. How did I get sorted into such a weird group of girls? I opened the tent, fishing one of the books I brought out with me out of the bag. We couldn't bring electronics, but books were fair game, and I actually like reading. Represent people who read. I respect that, Kyle. I just never have the time for it. Okay. This should keep me entertained for a while at least. The girls can get into whatever nonsense they want out here. Immersed in the book, I don't know how much time passes, but I'm interrupted from the fantasy realm and thrust back into reality by two simultaneous sounds. One is my stomach rumbling loudly in neglect. The other is a shout of delight from outside, Rand's voice carrying in a yell. I hear her calling my name among others. It seems we're all convened at the same time. You're not going to believe what I found. So our dearly beloved Hoiler than thou camp counselor, holier than thou camp counselor has a secret stash. She pulls the clear bottles of alcohol from a plastic bag which rolls around in the wind. Ta-da! May I present to you tonight's entertainment? Oh God. Christian stream. I don't know what it is, if this is fantastic or a horrible combination. Maybe it was Cheryl's. She seemed a bit wild, spontaneous. Really? Well, Shelton didn't strike me as a tequila kind of guy, if I'm honest. But I'm not picky about what I drink. Wait a second. Now I see why Etta never says much, because when she does, even Rand goes quiet and looks at her. Doesn't that seem at least a bit suspicious to you? We're conveniently left alone with access to alcohol. Shelton should have been back by now. It's almost night. So maybe he gets behind schedule. We sat in her car even before he tried to drive it through the woods. It was practically falling apart. We're all so tense. You can benefit from a good drink. What is he going to do with us anyway? He's the one who brought us in here, or allowed us to be here, so he's responsible for us. And that's about right. Who's actually going to get in trouble over this? We discussed the information through Etta's expression remains tight and suspicious. Andrea finally just shrugs and caves. May as well. Yay! I'm having so much fun. Here I thought I was going to have a drink alone with, and that's no fun. That's true, drinking alone's not always good unless you're George Thorogood. Though Etta never voices her agreement, she does sit down at the edge of the campfire. The rest of the food Rand found is distributed among us. We sit around the campfire, which grows increasingly bright as night falls, occasionally passing around the bottle. For being the ones who said she had reservations, Etta sure puts the rest of us to shame. Even Rand. Gradually the night grows darker, leaving us illuminated only by the fire. Listen, Kyle, you're in charge of putting me in my tent tonight. Got it? Sure. Yeah, I wondered why that is. Hey, why don't we play a drinking game? Every time Rand propositions Kyle's takes a drink. Well, someone has to do it. Proposition Kyle? No. Someone has to make sure I actually get in my tent. Wouldn't it be the first time I've woken up missing clothes with no idea where I am? Well, damn. Have you ever had to crawl out of a stranger's bathroom's window? No, I have not done that. Why the girl on the right look like Skrillex? Maybe the man has a fetish towards Skrillex who made this game? It's a good, good fan theory. It's not as fun as it sounds. No, never managed that one. Well, you can all shut up. This is a judgment-free zone or whatever. She punctuates the point by tipping the bottle to her lips again and then passes it to Andrea, who sighs. This stuff tastes terrible, but we continue to drink it regardless. Bangaranga, yes. You should have put the emojis B in there. I glance up, noticing Etta at least looks like a little pink in the face now. She's even smiling. It almost looks like she's blushing. I kind of thought it would be lame around here, so Andrea digs into her pocket, comes up with a deck of cards. I don't think any of you are big into poker or not. Hey, I have an idea. Rand leans over forward, and it may be on Etta's sharp reflexes that keeps her from tumbling into the fire. Let's play strip poker. Come on, Kyle, please. I know you'll be on my side, right? You know what, fuck it. Strip poker could be fun. Of course you would say that. She's got a point. I'm not an idiot. I know the odds here. Rand just laughs. Come on, guys. What could it hurt? Andrea's already passed Rand the cards, and she starts to clumsily shuffle them. Etta takes over when Rand finally spills them all over the ground and dissolves into laughter. Now that I think about it, I'm terrible at poker. We're gonna learn today with Skrillex. But hopefully, at least one of them is too. We all form a circle, gradually working out how much each article of clothing is worth. It's quickly discovered that, for some reason who wanted to play strip poker so badly, Rand has no poker face at all. YouTube didn't even got the B emoji. Come on, YouTube. Fucking YouTube. I know, right? But Etta is one of the who keeps getting the worst hands. And piece by piece the clothing starts to fall away. Shoes and socks gone. We're finally down to clothes that actually matter. Hey! It quickly gets increasingly difficult to pay attention to the actual game. I think Rand came to lose. I don't think this is a game I can lose. I end up peeling off my shirt after a pair of pocket aces fall from me. Hey, looky there. She gives me a wink and then sends the color of the tips to my ears down through my neck. Maybe it'll make me look less pasty. You're almost as pale as I am. Or not. We briefly compare skin tones. Etta loses badly twice in a row, much to Ren's delight. Always so functional. We keep playing in bitter spirits than I would expect from a bunch of strangers getting naked together. And despite her poker face, a series of disastrous hands remove Etta's last scrap of clothing. The only thing between me and indecency is my boxer briefs, and I'm probably not going to go over well if it has to come off, and all things considered. Sucks to suck, kid. But what do you expect? Etta still looks impressive, despite being fully nude and entirely out of the game, her skin flushed from the cold. Andrea and Rand have apparently made their missions to take me down next. I feel bad for Etta, though. You look really cold. I'm fine. We did get one person out at least. Should we keep playing? The two look at me as if I'm deciding factor. Let's play something else. Coward. Hey, I'm doing you a favor in the long run. Skrillex got the boob. Oh. Booby? Yeah, she does. You're drunk to play well. Are you saying you don't want to see me naked? Well, I never said that. So you want to see me naked? I didn't say that either. Geez, what are you, some kind of politician? Donald J. Trump. Can we pick something else to play before Kyle has an aneurysm? What else is there? Rand triumphantly picks up an empty bottle glass. Everybody get in a circle. Fine, but I'm putting my underwear back on. Well, there you go. There's some sights for you. Sitting together, Rand puts a bottle in the middle. Andrea should go first, since she was winning at poker. And is this reward or punishment? That depends on where you land. Tipsy, Andrea just laughs and spins the bottle. Sober, I don't think she's ever going to go along with this. Come to think of it, I probably won't go along with this either. Or maybe I would. I stare down at the bottle, pointing squarely at me, my eyes slowly lifting to Andrea. She walks over here, already warm, cheeks flushed. Okay, it's not awkward. We're being forced to do this. Kiss, I was expecting. Instead, she presses her lips against mine, an oddly show of confidence. I have no idea where it comes from. Even though her tongue slips past my lips as we fight it out for a moment, she pulls back with a theoretical mwahaha, turning to beam rather drunkenly at Ran and Etta. I nearly pass out, and I'm the least drunk of all of them. My turn, my turn. So that was good at all, but it's time to take it up an ante. Well, alright. Up the ante. We literally just started. New rules. The spinner gets to tell the person they land on to do, and it has to be sexual. Well, that escalated quickly. What? But I just put my underwear back on. It'll be harmless. Nothing you do is harmless. Ignores Etta's complaints. Rand spins the bottle. We all watch with held breath as it spins in the firelight, finally coming to a slow crawl. The neck of the bottle points at Etta. Oh, well. Are you playing by my rules or not? Fine. Seriously? She says it like she's absolutely nothing to her. She almost looks bored even. Maybe it's a matter of pride. I wouldn't be able to turn down Rand's rules if the bottle had pointed at me. Masturbate. Man, this game is getting crazy. The command stuns me. Andrea's face contorts the look of sheer surprise. But Etta never even blinks away from Rand's gaze. I'm going to question this. Is this going to be pulled down? Are we going to get a strike on this channel? Instead, she mutters something as she spreads her legs. Rand looks extremely impressed, almost delighted as Etta slips a hand between her legs. With that same straight face, she starts moving her hands in small motions against her slit. I'm not gonna say that. Look at Kyle's face. Suddenly all the eyes are on me and I realize I've been sitting here with my wife, my mouth half open for about 30 seconds, enjoying the show. Etta keeps moving her fingers for a few moments. Now do it inside. You have to orgasm. Such a powerful word. What? If you think I'm gonna get you off looking at you, you're way too hopeful. Oh, ouch. If you don't want to finish up, then that's fine. I think you've done enough. Etta takes the bottle. She spins sharply and groups. Oh, damn. Oh, who invited Karma to the party? Rand bears a grin with her former victim, evidently not scared. Bring it on, then. What do we have to do? Etta jerks her head in my direction. Give him a boob job. There's your boobies, Brent. For a second, it doesn't even register that I'm involved in this somehow. Wait, what? Really? You made the rules, and you're the most equipped person for it. Rand doesn't look half as confident as she had before, getting a little red. But with a single motion, she kneels in front of me. She manages as a laugh as she rubs against me more. What looks like it's Kyle likes it. All right, enough. What? I don't even get to finish. Well, blue balls me, I guess, with your hair. Rand doesn't protest, though, simply scooting away from me, leaving me to cover myself up. Another full bottle has started to make its way around the circle. If I'm going to go through this, I'll need some more of that. Rand grabs the empty bottle again, giving it a spin. Not me, not me. It slowly crawls near me, but finally rests on Andrea. Hey, it's gonna be my new, my waifu pillow, I guess. Finish Kyle off. Oh. He's gonna get blue balls if we leave him like this. Are you right? Can he do it himself? That's not the spirit of the game. Andrea glances at me, looking a little apprehensive, but also a little too drunk to care. Well, okay. Do you want me to? Yeah, why not? I hear Rand laugh. Awkwardly, Andrea falls on the ground in front of me. Careful, I'm fine. She waves me off. It doesn't take long. I fall backwards on the grass with a groan. I hear the girls chattering and laughing, but I'm miles away. Suddenly I feel a bumpy ground beneath my back, hearing giggles as I'm dragged away. It's all just a blur. Day 3. Let's count this. So, sex twice. 3 sexual acts. Betting on 5. I wake up feeling like something put an anvil on my head, and I was left there all night. What the hell? I'm hot and weirdly sticky, there's hair in my mouth. Wait, my hair isn't long enough to get in my mouth. I feel my eyes open by force of sheer will, realizing I'm crammed between Andrea and Rand. What? Pulling Rand's hair out of my mouth, I lift my head up a little. Our skin is practically stuck together, and with slow realization it hits me. They're all naked. Nice. Even Etta is here, curled up away from me, but still in the same tent. I grasp for memories, but how the night ended is a weird blur. I'm about to get the most awkward boner. My body heat is stifling, even for a cool morning. It's like burning alive in a sea of beautiful girls. I want to just sigh and drift back to into a blissful sleep, absolutely certain that this will never happen again in my life. Doesn't seem like it's a bad thing, but someone else moves. I hear shuffling over the soft sounds of Andrea's breathing close to my ear. At least someone's finally up. Ugh, I hope I don't look as bad as you do. You look fine. I rub my hand over my face, or whispering seems to have woken the others too, at least a little. What? I don't even remember what I did, but I hate myself for it. We all get up gradually, each of us coming to our own awkward realization of the situation. Rand takes the longest to wake up, Andrea forcefully shaking her. Does anyone remember what happened? Why are we all still in our underwear? Rand is the one who finally asks $1 million question as we all start leaving the tent. Or now where my shoes are. I have a vague impression of what happened. Last I remember, you blacked out mid-cuddle party, as you called it, and Andrew decided it was warmer there. So why are we all naked? I didn't take notes. But you wouldn't let me stay until I was naked too. If you were sober, then why did you just stay with us? Etta fixes with her withering look to make sure none of you choked on your own vomit and died. Gang activity. Good reason. It sounds like an excuse to me. None of us were that bad off, at least not that I can remember. After getting up, we have prepare breakfast. Alright, how long have I been doing this? I've been doing this for an hour and 10 minutes practically. Oh my god. 50 minutes and then I'm done. Or we'll end it off. So he still isn't back. Cheryl hasn't come back either. From the way she left, I wouldn't get too hopeful that she's gonna come back at all. I said it before, but this feels like a test. They want us to see what we'll do. If it's a test, we've already flunked it. And she's right. Yeah, the alcohol probably wasn't the greatest idea. It was definitely the greatest idea and you agreed to it, in case you drank that memory away. It's been a very long 1 hour reading all this. I didn't. I was just saying, we finish breakfast in silence and then break off individually again, deciding to explore. I head in a different direction today, less concerned about getting lost, now that I have a general sense of the place. Besides, it'd be hard to get out of shooting range. Through the trees, I make out glimmer of something bright up ahead. What is that? I walk towards it, breaking through the tree line to an unexpected sight. How was this here the whole time and none of us realized it? I think Rand even looked for it. The water ripples against the wind, and the air is filled with the calls of birds and insects. From one of the branches over the water, a tire swing sways at the end of a rope. Hey guys, I yell a few times for the others, hearing a couple calls back. It's a few minutes before they all figure out where I am, arriving in a group. Rand practically squeals. You found it. Before I can even say anything, she runs towards the tire swing. I call it first. Rand grabs onto the tire swing and makes an impressive arch over the lake, falling into the water below. She didn't even check how deep it was. I'm stunned when Etta steps up beside me too. What? This would be my third day without a shower. And keep your eyes to yourself. I immediately turn back to the lake, my neck red as I watch Rand instead. But out of the corner of my eye, I can see Etta's motions as she strips down. Rand floats on her back with a sigh and the sun dancing off her skin. You're all missing out. I think I might be drooling a little. Come on, Kyle. Etta doesn't justify why she steps up to the tire swing and herself into the lake. She could have just walked in. Her body arches in a graceful dive as she slips into the water. And regardless of her threat, I'm no longer keeping my eyes to myself at all. Come on, Andrea. She lingers back a bit, looking on warily. Don't be a baby, it's just a little water. She glances at me, cheeks blushing. Oh, sorry. Do you want me to look somewhere else, or... No, it's not that. Can you swim? I can, I just never been skinny dipping before. She scrawls towards the distance as she rubs her neck. She gives me a look, but her expression finally softens. Fine, whatever. I guess it can't hurt. She nods a little, centering her sight on the tire swing as she peels off her clothes. Straddling the tire and wrapping her fingers around the ropes, she gradually starts to swing out over the water. She uses her weight to pick up speed and gets the swing going as she clings to the line. Jump! With a rather impressive leap, Andrea goes soaring before disappearing into the water with a splash. A few moments pass before she emerges again, laughing and shaking the water off of her dark hair. Rand pounces on her from behind with a bubbly laugh. See, that wasn't so hard. Are you coming, or are you just gonna stand there with your mouth open? Rand and Andrea look towards me. Yeah, come on, Kyle. Get into the action. Do you want to see it all up close? Don't encourage him. If I have to do it, so do you. Right. Being a weird voyeur probably isn't gonna get me anywhere, and I really could do with washing off, even if it's a lake water. I feel all their eyes staring at me as I peel off my own clothes. My neck streaks with red. I'm in one calculated movement. I drop my underwear and go running. I jump on the tire swing, feeling the bend of the branch above me, but it holds. Without hesitation, I finally launch into the air, throwing myself into the lake. It's a brief fall as I tuck my knees to my chest and cannonball into the water. The laughter and yells are muffled while I get my bearings in the water and glancing up. The sunlight brightens the surface. Long, slender legs kick gently as they tread the water above me. A stream of bubbles leave my mouth as I stare upward. Oh, right. Air. I kick to the surface, hearing Rand laughing. Whoa, okay. Alright. We're gonna stop this for a second.